Hey guys, it's me, Tiana Jones, also known as Callie Faye, and I'm here today with the Global Peace Sustainable Development Goal, Day 2, Zero Hunger. And there's people from all different countries here to speak on the real issue that we have spreading worldwide. I have my first special speaker, and this speaker, she is a professor in Croatia, very strong, very experienced with the education system and the youth. And her name is Professor Nada Rakovic. Welcome.
Greetings from Croatia. Thank you. Thank you, my dear Diana Jones, for this opportunity, for this second day. Yesterday was amazing day. Yesterday was a great session. And this year the summit starts wonderful. So all these days will be, and I can say it will be a grand success, another great year this year. Yesterday, talking about no poverty. Today, we have a topic called zero hunger. What it means? Because if we are hungry, what it means? We are still then in the poverty. Can we give that to anyone? Do anyone needs to be today hungry? Yesterday, our great Dr. Tiana, already talks about that. Me, I show some examples, what we are doing, what I'm doing with my students, what we are doing in the country, how to help people, because we are giving them the food, we are giving them the sweeties, we are giving them the things for education, for the things for main things for the living. So today, nobody don't deserve to be hungry. So I have a small presentation, but Tiana, you don't need to make it share. I will only go through some things from this presentation. I will start now with one song what Missy Hassan write. She write a sad song. She was only 10 years old. She is an Ethiopian girl who lost her entire family in famine 1984. So she write this. Listen, dear mother, the cry of my despair. Listen, dear father, the cry of my despair. Hunger has come. Children and adults have fallen like autumn leaves. We have seen all this suffering. Me and my stuff. After we have left our home, I thought, if I die, how will the world know about it? So, this Ethiopian girl is not only one. We have so many girls, so many boys, so many old people left. Did they deserve this? Did they deserve today to be hungry? We have the statistics. We have the map of hunger map every year. We see that Asia is the continent with the most malnourished people. And if woman is in agriculture, she had the same conditions as the man. So working in this, what is it to be achieved? So we need to say eradicating eradicating hunger and malnutrition, ensuring the nutritional needs. Tomorrow is a great topic. Tomorrow is a SDG 3. So talking about well-being and this nutrition and this food, that is very important. Then improving the diet for the world population, promoting sustainable agriculture, and securing the hand and wrestlers for all the women, for all the groups, for all the family farms. That is that we know all the goals, we know all the targets. So access to the safe and nutritious food and all forms of malnutrition. So we come, there are depths of incomes, there are some food producers, they need to maintain the diversity in the food production. So investing in rural infrastructure. I said in my country, nearby me, I have a big rural part, and people left that rural part, especially because Croatia had a war before 30 years, and people left that part. That parts are beautiful. I always say, if you live in that part, you will be very healthy. People from many countries, from Europe, from Germany, from Italy, Austria, Romania, Bulgaria, who comes to the vacation on the summer, choose to buy an old house and coming living there. So rural parts, we need some more researchers, more science, more technology, more innovations, more inventions. So we need to provide the people the work, and then we people if work they get a salary, and then there is no hungry. And also what to do, we have so many we have so many who cannot have the kids, who cannot have the children. I can say working in education sector already we have children who come from Nigeria, from Kenya, from many countries, because the couples who don't have children, who cannot have, adopted their children. That is something beautiful. That is something what we can do, and how can we change that, and how can we help that. Giving a warm home to a child who don't have that conditions for the living. So we need to work on that. We need to work on that we don't mention never ever the term poverty. It is a global problem. It is today. There is no boundaries of the age, gender, or religion. Croatia, my country, is also experience a growing number of poor people because so many we don't have a production. People who are living by the sea is working in the field of tourism. They don't have problems, but people who are not doing work in tourism, and if they are not in education sector, in the medicine sector, or in technology science, like example, the salesman. We have so many people who still work and got very low salary. They are not enough for the living. So let us provide food for everyone, not only celebrating World Food Day. We know that we want 0% hunger by 2030, which can only be achieved through joint work effort based on the reasons. So some of the goals will be achieved. Some of the goals will be achieved, but not all the goals. So our active participation, our help, saving the children, volunteering to solve the problem for the hunger and poverty, making volunteer activities, doing humanity at work, because that means louder songs, dancing, positive energy, doing together, coming together. That is only possible. That is possible, and we can do. If we don't help each other, who will help us? So let us continue for a better tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. I'm really honored to be here today and again to speak on this amazing and very important topic. This is very important. Yesterday, no poverty. Today, zero hunger. Tomorrow, well-being. Then education. Who I think that today who don't work on SDG, he can think he doing innovation, but this is something where you really need to do to put a lot of your time giving to other. So always think who will help you if you will not help someone. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So much passion, so much information about Croatia. And Croatia is a beautiful place that needs more innovations, more investment in tourism. Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you. I will leave now, and I think I will come back for 1 hour.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next special guest speaker is going to be Ambassador Professor Surya Bano. Welcome from India.
Very good evening. This is Professor Dr. Surya Banu from Chhattisgarh, India. I am assistant professor since last 31 years and Global Peace Brand Ambassador and Goodwill Global Ambassador. Now the topic is today SDGs to Zero Hunger. In the words of United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, we must rise higher to rescue the Sustainable Development Goals and stay true to our promise of a world of peace, dignity, and prosperity on a healthy planet. In 2015, the United Nations General Assembly adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals designed to transform our world by 2030. The second goal is to end hunger, achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Goal 2 aims to end hunger and all forms of malnutrition by 2030. It also commits to universal access. To save this goal will require better access to food and the widespread promotion of sustainable agriculture. This entails improving the productivity and incomes of small scale farmers by promoting equal access to land, technology, and markets, sustainable food production system, and resilient agricultural practices, and sufficient food at all times of the year. As Nelson Mandela said, freedom is meaningless if people cannot put food in their stomach. Agricultural income and labor productivity. Invest in agriculture research and innovation. Organic farming and the pesticide risk are some examples of SDGs 2. The United Nations has defined 8 targets and 13 indicators for SDGs 2. The target specifies the goals and indicators represent the metrics by which the world aims to track whether these targets are achieved. A world with zero hunger can positively impact our economics, health, education, equality, and social development. The program was initiated by the ICR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, along with the ICMR, Indian Council of the Medical Research, and the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, with BIRC, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistant Council. In the words of Mother Teresa, the hunger for love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread. Then we have to know about which states has zero hunger in India. In 2021, the Sustainable Development Goal Index score of zero hunger ranges between 97 and 19 for India state and union territories. Chandigarh has the highest score of 97, and among the state, Kerala was the front runner with the score of 80. Then how can we solve zero hunger in the world? Here are some tips: break the cycle of conflict and hunger, increase sustainability and build reliances to climate change, address poverty and inequality through social safety nets, help rural farmers connect to markets, reduce food waste and food loss, eliminate malnutrition in mother and children. As Abdul Kalam said, when a poor person dies of hunger, it has not happened because God did not take care of him or her. It has happened because neither you or I wanted to give that person what he or she needed. Then we have to know what is India's role in solving world hunger. One of the India's greatest contribution to equity in the food is its National Food Security Act (NFSA) 2013 that anchors the targeted public distribution system and the midday meals, MIDM, and integrated child development services. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, there is enough on this planet for everyone's need, but not everyone's greed. Then WHO reports on hunger in India says the report prepared jointly by Irish and agency concerned worldwide and German organization World Hunger Hilfe termed the level of hunger in India serious. In 2021, India was ranked 101 out of 116 countries, and now 121 countries in the list. It was dropped to this 107th rank. Heart hunger, mind hunger, cellular hunger, stomach hunger, mouth hunger, nose hunger, eye hunger. These are some types of the hunger we have to know. Then what is the government policy on hunger? The National Food Security Act 2030 it legally entitled up to 70% of the rural population and 50% of the urban population to receive subsidies for food grains under the targeted public distribution system. The key facts about the hunger in India are that India has struggled with inadequate food and water access over the last few decades. The country's rapidly growing population has drawn the attention of the world. The several states and organizations have answered to call to address hunger. As Lalia Gifty Akita said, zero hunger means there should be no hungry people. This can be achieved through enhancing agriculture in every continent. Now I want to share some facts about hunger in India. About 15% of India is undernourished. 1/3 of food get lost or wasted. Women account for 60% of India's hungry population. 3,000 children die every day from hunger. Around 30% of newborns die from lack of nutrition. 21% of the population lives on the less than $1.90 per day. India is not poor, yet hunger remains an issue. The government on many levels has been insufficient in improving the issue. The situation has improved. As United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said, we can't rest while so many people are hungry in world while there's enough food for all. Somehow this food is not distributed equally or fairly. Some people are living in prosperity while marginalized people are hungry. We know this has to change. Now I conclude, we can use the SDGs to rebuild our economics in a resilient and sustainable way, focusing on creating good lives on a healthy planet for all people. Within 7 years left to achieve them, we all have to part to play, and council are some of the best placed institutions to drive progress. Extreme hunger and malnutrition remains a barrier to sustainable development and creates a trap from which people cannot easily escape. Hunger and malnutrition mean less productive individuals who are more prone to disease and thus often unable to earn more and improve their livelihoods. At last, I want to share the words said by United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Ending hunger is within our reach, but unless we solve this problem today, we face the specter of global food shortage in the coming month. Our only chance of lifting millions of people out of hunger is to act together urgently and with solidarity. Thank you, Tiana ma'am, for giving me a beautiful opportunity on SDGs too. Thank you one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having so much passion and giving us so many facts. And this is a huge issue in all countries, so we need to focus on finding a solution. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Our next special guest speaker is Katia Bibulari.
Yes, hello. Hello, everyone. I'm from Georgia, and today I'm going to talk about SDG 2, which is about zero hunger, and which aims to end hunger, achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. First of all, increasing agricultural productivity and sustainability. This is a strategy that involves promoting sustainable agricultural practices such as conservation agriculture, agroforestry, and integrated pest management. It also involves improving access to technology such as irrigation systems, drought-resistant seeds, and weather forecasting tools. Finally, it involves providing training and education to farmers on sustainable practices and technologies. The second one is promoting value chains and market access. This strategy involves improving the connections between farmers and markets, including through the development of infrastructure such as roads, storage facilities, and processing plants. It also involves creating market incentives such as fair prices and promoting value-added products such as processed foods. The third one that I want to talk about is supporting smallholder farmers. Smallholder farmers are a key group that must be supported to achieve SDG 2. This involves providing access to credit and financial services such as microfinance to enable farmers to invest in their farms. It also involves improving access to markets, including by supporting the development of cooperatives and farmer organizations that can negotiate better prices for their members. I also want to talk about investing in nutrition. This strategy involves promoting breastfeeding and providing access to nutritious foods such as fruits, vegetables, and animal source foods. It also involves addressing malnutrition, especially among children and pregnant and lactating women, through the provision of nutrient-rich supplements and other interventions. I also want to talk about strengthening safety nets. This strategy involves providing social protection programs such as food vouchers, cash transfers, and school feeding programs to vulnerable populations. These programs can help to ensure that people have access to sufficient food even during times of hardship such as droughts, floods, and economic shocks. Reducing food waste and loss. This strategy involves improving storage and transportation infrastructure to reduce post-harvest losses. It also involves educating consumers on reducing food waste and promoting innovative technologies that reduce waste, such as cold storage facilities and mobile apps that connect farmers with consumers. Overall, achieving SDG 2 requires a multi-phased approach that involves improving productivity, strengthening markets, supporting smallholder farmers, investing in nutrition, providing safety nets, and reducing food waste and loss. By implementing these strategies, countries can work towards ending hunger, achieving food security, improving nutrition, and promoting sustainable agriculture. That's all from me. And I think that I was able to share my opinion. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Agriculture is something that we really need to invest in for innovation, and teaching the youth this information, because I know you're also a teacher, is very important. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have our next speaker, Caleb Tamele Samuel. Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much for having me from Nigeria. Dr. Tiana Jones, thank you for putting down such a wonderful summit so that we can share ideas and learn, and so that we can motivate one another for better society. Yes, much has been said concerning UNSDG Goal 2, which is zero hunger. But it is just to make my little contributions to that. Okay, so we all know definitely that food is one of the basic needs of man, and it is very, very important for man to stay in existence. So having said that, I would like to take our minds to some statistics, particularly here in Africa. According to Oxfam International Statistics, we have it here that over 20 million more people hungry in Africa, Africa's year of nutrition, which is about 2 months ago, statistics of 2 months ago, 17th of February 2022. It is even said That in the 12th month, the African leaders vowed to improve food security in the continent. Over 20 million people have been pushed into severe hunger in Africa. Now, looking at the statistics here, particularly in Nigeria, uh, we can see that children are the most vulnerable when it comes to food insecurity. Approximately 6 of the 17 million food insecure Nigerians today are children under the age of 5, particularly in Nigeria. So I made mention of something yesterday when I was saying advocacy in one region is advocacy all over the world. Yes, injustice or justice in one region is justice or injustice all over the world. So, having said that, I would like to talk about few causes also of hunger that the world is currently facing. I will also talk about climate change, which is also my field. Climate change causes a whole lot of problems that has to do with poverty, that has to do with hunger, that has to do with inequality and a lot more. So when we talk about climate change, the reason why we we advocate on climate change, it is not because we really want to just advocate, but we have discovered that it is a primary cause. It is a primary cause of major issues that we are facing today. Now, when you talk about climate change, of course, we know it is the release of greenhouse gases into the Earth atmosphere. By the time weather-related events begin to happen, then it causes excessive rainfall, it causes drought and all that. Then you now begin to think about people who have source of livelihood like farmers. When you talk about farmlands, it begins to destroy farmland, causing food shortages and all of that. So, and again, we would like to talk about, I would like to talk about political issues. Political issues when it comes to agricultural infrastructure, we discover that one of the major problems here in Africa is leadership. It has been leadership over time. Now, we have discovered that our government here, they don't really invest in agriculture. Yes, we understand that, okay, a whole lot of war are currently ongoing. The budgets that are used in investing into agriculture are most of the investment that goes into into weapons for wars, just to tranquilize insecurities. So having talked about that, we have discovered that hunger is something that to meet zero hunger is something that demands collective responsibility, both from young leaders, maybe from NGO, or maybe from or intergovernmental organization. We discovered that all hands must be on deck if we are to achieve that. So, and I see that we young leaders here, we've been trying our best just to make sure that we have a better society and for the next generations to come. So I would like to pick up one more statistics, particularly from the UNICEF. It says in 2022, UNICEF with partners was able to reach approximately 650,000 children with life-saving nutrition services across 6 states mentioned, particularly in the northern Nigeria, that has to do with Katsina, that has to do with Zamfara, that has to do with Sokoto. These are states in northern Nigeria, and perhaps they are the most populated when you talk about population, northern Nigeria. So definitely, when you see that um, people that go into hunger are definitely people living in poverty. So yesterday I made mention of poverty as a whole. There are different forms of poverty. We can talk about financial. We can talk about information poverty. We can talk about food as this case now. Then we can talk about as for women. We can talk about period poverty. Then as for every other thing, we can talk about. There are a lot of poverties to talk about. But now that we are talking about food, food is a basic need of man, and it is very, very important if man is to survive in this plane of existence. So I would like to appreciate every young leader here. We are trying our best to make sure that we create a society that we deserve. Thank you very much, Jana. Thank you very much, everyone. We can all collaborate to come out with good initiatives that will make us achieve UN SDG Goal 2, zero hunger. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think that donations and also learning how to utilize the services given, and this can help the children, this can help people get the necessities they need. So these facts are great because each country has issues that have to be resolved, and we have to find these solutions now rather than 2030. So speaking about it, making it an awareness, and giving the information and the data and the analysis will help us find those solutions quicker. Thank you so much. Our next special speaker is Raymond Banzula. Welcome.
Hello everyone, greetings and mabuhay from the Philippines. So we are now talking about the SDG 2, zero hunger. And now I will share with you the best practices that our community is launching to fight hunger. So one of the most difficult challenges that humanity faces is the total annihilation of poverty in all its forms. While the number of people living in extreme poverty has decreased by more than half since 1990, from 1.9 billion in 1990 to 836 million in 2015. And far too many people continue to struggle to meet the most basic human needs. Poverty causes hunger, which is why many people, including those in the lower classes, are still malnourished, particularly children and others. So to fight further this problem, a platform was established here, and the Sustainable Development Goals are bold commitments to finish what was started and end poverty in all forms and dimension by 2030. So this includes eradicating hunger, but in order to do so, it is necessary to strengthen sustainable agriculture and identify the sources of all these problems. So here in the Philippines, 39.5% or 7.9 million Filipino families were classified as food insecure, a 6-point decrease from 45% or 9.1 million previously. Even though there are programs in place to reduce the rate, it is not enough to say that we are doing so. So hunger and malnutrition have long-term negative effects on children's health. Furthermore, among the ASEAN member countries, the Philippines has one of the highest level of hunger. If there is hunger, there must be a reason for it, and one of the possible causes is unemployment. So according to a survey conducted by the Philippine Statistics Authority, the unemployment rate has dropped to 6.9% increase over last year's figure of 7.1%, according to poll. Metro Manila, one of the most populated area in the country, has the highest unemployment rate at 10%. So 62% of the unemployed, 3% men, while 37% are women. More than half of the total of 51.7% are between the ages of 15 and 27. So among educational groups, 32.8% or nearly 1/3 of the unemployed are high school graduates. 8% are college freshmen and 21% are college graduates. So we all know that in order to have a good and stable job, one must first obtain a good education. So this leads to another factor that contributes to hunger, a lack of a quality education. The number of people who cannot obtain a quality education, for example, Filipinos begin with 80% of them attending elementary schools. However, the percentage drops directly to 48% of them attending high school. And it even decreases down to 20% of the Filipinos who go to the colleges and the university. These three causes are somewhat interconnected to each other, meaning one causes the other. The incapability of most people to acquire quality education results to unemployment, since these people does not have enough skills to get their desired job. Also, good job opportunities have large demands that those who did not acquire quality education are the least opportunity in the employment. And then because of people who do not have jobs, this make them incapable in producing enough income to support their families, which is poverty. So poverty then leads to hunger, for they do not have enough money to satisfy their need for food. So if the causes of hunger are interconnected with each other, then same are the solutions. So the government should first take the education here in the Philippines more accessible. If every member of the society has enough skill to get their desired job, there will be less people who are unemployed. If every individual in the working force have jobs, they will be capable in providing the necessities of their families, including food, thus alleviating the hunger in our country, even in the world. This shows how critical the situation is for us, Filipinos. Therefore, resolving this kind of major problem would not be possible by 2030. But these three causes are somewhat interconnected. So which means that one causes the other, and a good job opportunities have such a high demand that those who did not obtain a good education. And yeah, it first what we sorry, there will be a fewer unemployed people if every member of the society has the necessary skills. So let me share with you the great initiative of the Philippine government now. The Interagency Task Force on Zero Hunger will develop a national food policy that will outline the government's priorities and lay out efforts to achieve zero hunger. Our former president, Rodrigo Duterte, has established an interagency task force on zero poverty, or zero hunger, to help more Filipinos overcome hunger and achieve food security. And then on January 10, the former president issued an executive order establishing interagency task force on zero hunger together with it is chaired by the cabinet secretary, Carlo Nograles, and the cabinet secretary will chair the interagency task force together with its vice chairperson, the agriculture secretary, the agrarian reform secretary, the budget secretary, education secretary, environment secretary, health secretary, labor secretary, the interior and local government secretary, the trade secretary, science secretary, communication secretary, and of course the National Economic and Development Authority Director General. And the chairperson of the Commission on Higher Education are among the other members. So the former president acknowledged in the executive order that involuntary hunger, food security, undernutrition, and child wasting, stunting, and mortality remain serious concerns in the country. So according to him, there is an urgent need to carefully coordinate, rationalize, monitor, and assess the efforts of concerned government agencies and instrumentalities in order to ensure the whole government approach to eradicating hunger and achieving security. So, and finally, here in our community, in San Pablo City, Laguna, Philippines, through the collaboration of JCI San Pablo Seven Lakes Organization, they launched a program and a project to help the community, and here called as One for All for One to End Hunger. And its purpose is that one for all for one, may not be a new principle in our history, but as old as saying, JCI San Pablo Seven Lakes has been strengthening this idea by integrating this concept of cooperation to reach one goal and guarantee the improvement of lives in our community. So that is no Filipino shall be hungry. So one for all for one is a new principle in our history, but JCI San Pablo Seven Lakes has been strengthening this idea by incorporating this concept of cooperation to achieve one goal, and of course to ensure the improvement of lives in our community. So when there is a feeding project at JCI, members encouraged to freely share and give away their blessings in this light. So it was provide our fellow San Pableños with nutritious and energizing food. And then it also contribute their ideas to the community's food supply by holding seminars in our barangay about food budgets and alternative food sources such as home farming. A larger impact and significant progress in our community were made by a simple initiative launched by a One for All for One JCI San Pablo Seven Lakes. Ongoing efforts are fortified and strengthened by the people who support our long-term goals for serving and improving the lives of our country. And as a result of this initiative, as of July last year, sorry, the One for All for One feeding program had successfully fed over 500 people in our four major feeding events. So one of the largest group was the One for All for One in Bagong Silang, where JCI was able to feed over 200 families during the Bags to School project celebration. So all feeding projects were approved by the City Health Office and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. And then One for All for One received the Dangal Merit Award for the Best Local Global Goals Project at the 38th Southern Luzon Areas Conference here in the Philippines. So as an ordinary individual, you can still do a lot of things to fight this situation, to combat poverty and hunger. For example, you can participate in a feeding program in your community, bringing water filters to remote areas, build and maintain a school garden, helping to establish a school in your community kitchen, building water sanitation and hygiene facilities in the school, and much, much more. So the important thing is that we will always remember that if we are in a better situation in life and have an ability to help others, we should not hesitate, because true peace begins with a person who has a good heart and will. So who is caring, and most importantly, who has faith and fear in the Almighty God. So a pleasant day to all of you, and once again, thank you for having me here in our wonderful and very insightful conference. It was indeed a fruitful and meaningful day. Congratulations, my dear Dr. Tiana. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And this is all new knowledge and information for me as well to learn about your country. So it is great to hear that they're starting to do more innovations and they're investing more in their country and their people, because that's what matters, is not just spreading the information, but giving them an opportunity and following some sort of guidelines so that they can feel that they're safe in their own country getting the services. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Amir Ali Mahar.
Hello, ma'am. My voice is audible.
Yes.
Actually, yes, here is the internet is a slow working. So can I share my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. It's shared.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is Amir Ali Mahar, and I am a Youth Peace Ambassador, UNPKFC, Pakistan. Currently, I am working at the UNPKFC office at the Thailand. So today is my topic about talk on SDG to zero hunger. Hunger is the leading cause of the death in the world. Our planet provides us with retirement resource, but unequal access and the instant handling levels millions of the people and malnutrition. If we promote sustainable agriculture without modern technology and a fair distribution system, we can sustainable the whole world population and make sure that nobody will ever suffer from the hunger again. In Pakistan, I represent in Pakistan, so in Pakistan have a more and more people have a no food, and there is some problem about the agriculture because the recently 1 year ago we have a flood in everywhere, so our lands, our food, our everything in the destroyer. And the second thing is that we have the no system about to develop our focus our this zero hunger net, because in Pakistan have a lot of the people, some of the areas they people have no food, sometimes they are sleeping without food. But in the help of UNPKFC and some of my friend from the USA, from other person, we are helping the people. We are giving almost um, 4 to 5 homes to give the food, and there in Pakistan have that mosquito problem, and we also give them the net. So I moved my topic about it. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization estimated that about 795 billion people of the 7.3 billion people in the world are one of the in 9 where the suffering from the chronic understanding missed in 2014 to 2016. 780 million hungry people live in developing country, representing at 12.9%, are one in the 8 of the population of development countries. There are 11 million people undernourishment in the development countries. Also. Actually, yes. What are the causes about the zero hunger? There is a poverty. If in every country have a no money, no jobs or anything, they have the poverty. The people face, they have the no money, no jobs, even no agriculture. And there is a no equality to give equal right. Is an economic system. There is a no industry system. There is a no any mechanic system. Is a conflict war. and sometimes the country have the conflict in other countries, and sometimes the country have a conflict each in other, like in one province to the other province, sometimes conflict in their religion, sometimes conflict in their face color, sometimes in conflict their surname. So these are a conflict in everywhere. If we will remove this, then we will the actual. Hungary is a cycle process in unsustainable population size, food, agriculture policy. Few benefit of the small farms are the poor farmers is a climate change and drought, flooding, and changing the climate pattern. These are the main causes of the uh, to grow hungry to the people. So we focus this there in some countries have the resources is a natural resources. In Pakistan have everything in the natural resources. In other countries have a different. Sometimes the climate is a system. Okay, the next slide. SDG 2 zero hunger targets. There are the targets of the zero hunger target. Okay. Universal access to the safe the nutrition food by the 2023 end Hungary and ensure the access by the all people, in particular the poor and the people in vulnerable situation, including in fact to save nutrition and sufficient food all around the world, all year round. Sorry. And the second target is that is the end all forms of the malnutrition in by 2023, end of the all form of the malnutrition, including the achieving by 2025. The internationally agreed the target on sustaining and the resting in children under the 5 year of the age, and the address the nutritional needs of the adolescent girls and pregnant and the electing the women and older persons. Number third is a double the productivity and income of the small scale food in procedures. By the 2023, there is a double the agriculture providing productivity and the income of the small scale food by producer in the particularly women integral. These are the second target. Alike, these are the four target, and there are the eight target about the SDG 2 in a zero hunger. So I like to end my this presentation, and I want to something say that sometimes we are the human. Sometimes we think that if in our beside, if anybody in have a hungry, we cannot wait for the any person. We can do anything. Even we can do just a smile, and we have the right to talk about these people. In Pakistan, have now is a critical condition. Even we can talk about this, but sometimes it's getting problems about us. But I saw in a different countries like USA, Georgia, and Nigeria, India, and Philippines. They have the recycle. If they have the problem, they are people collect together and this. And I am very thankful to the ma'am Tiana Jones for to giving to me the opportunity to I talk. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. And it's so important for us to bring that awareness. You're correct about that. There's so much we can do together if we just believe that there can become a better world. We can change our world by being considerate and finding the best value in ourselves. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
And now we have another special speaker from the United States of America. Her organization is called Ashley Angels, and she's here to speak about her beliefs on this. And you're muted, but you just got.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Miss Jones. I apologize. I am so delighted that I can be part of this discussion because it is very dear to my heart. I am a grant writer, and there are national grants, especially for families, domestic violence, and hunger of families. The money is there, but the other countries do not have access to this information. I have many accesses to this information, and it can be linked as long as they have some form of nonprofit, meaning registered 501c3. They can always reach out to me and let me know what their needs are. This can be solved so easily. I know there are so many hungry children, families, neighborhoods, communities out there, and it breaks my heart. I can't even go anywhere and see a person on the street holding a sign up, please, I don't want money, I'm just hungry. I don't care if the light is green or red. I will get out of my car and I will literally stop anything and everything and make sure this person is fed. Now, I cannot believe, it is astonishing to me that other countries have to suffer so much, and then their top government does not want to address the situation. Our situation here, as I discussed with you yesterday, Ms. Jones, the USDA and the EDA right now is trying to figure out how we can solve this food wastage. Can you just imagine, just because a tomato is not sellable, because it does not look good to someone to buy, they will throw it out. But I had written a grant to a gentleman that built a company that literally goes out and buys food that is not sellable, or he goes to restaurants to get the leftovers. Of course, he's being pounded with policies and tests, making sure his company is okay. But that is another idea for other countries. If there's a restaurant, get them involved in, look, what are you doing with the remainder of your food at the end of the day? And if that is not enough, go to the farmers. Is there anyone that you see that they are throwing it or discarding the food? Approach them. Say, hey, we have this issue. I know you are aware of it. Be part of the solution and not the problem. And why I brought the grant up is because there is one grant. It's called the Carnegie Grant. It's a $6.5 million grant to go to any country. It's not specifying any specific country. But if someone contacts me, I am on LinkedIn and on Alignable, I'll be more than happy to assist you, because this has to stop. It's not humane. Why would you even walk away from a child or a family, a mother with multiple children, just walk away and have a blind eye? No, you cannot do that. God does not want us to do this. God wants us to provide for them. So we have to get together as a unity, as a huge community, and solve this issue once and for all. Not just on Christmas, when they try to give the food out here in the United States, not just on the holiday for other countries. We're talking about there are 365 days a year. What are you going to say to your children when in the summertime they don't go to school, they don't get food? They have no money to feed that child. I cannot even fathom the idea in another country, and I see it all the time, and I promise you, I will not walk away from this TV with a dry eye. I have to walk away and cry it out because I'm so far away from other countries to not being able to help. It just breaks my heart. There was one commercial from Russia, no, Jewish. They were Jewish, older women, Jewish women. When I saw this commercial, I just cried for 2 hours and shook my head and said, how is this possible? Where are the families? Where is the community? Why would you leave them in a corner to just die? Because that's all they do. They wait to die because no one will feed them. So there is a foundation that gathered and said, enough is enough. We are going to provide them with a package of fresh fruits, vegetables, warm food. And when this lady opened up this package, her face just lit up like she just got a nugget of gold. And all she was holding was an orange. That is a huge problem. Please, I don't care which country it is. We are all living in the same place. God made this earth. We are responsible for everyone. If I'm here in the States and a doctor or a gentleman approaches me, says, I need help, I promise you, I will have that grant written in no time. Because there is a link, and other countries do not know this. They don't know if they are eligible for the United States dollar bill. Yes, you are. Okay? Yes, you are. We have NATO. NATO means gatherness. Whatever happens to one or the other country, some other country comes in and helps out. That is just what it's supposed to be. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ms. Jones, for letting me join and letting me speak my mind. I have been waiting so long for this. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And I know Ashley personally, and she means every word she says because there's passion behind it and resilience behind it. And she's very hard working at saving children and an advocate for all humanity. Thank you so much, Ashley. And now we have Poonam Gathi. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you? How is the other side of the world for you?
I am fine. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm so happy. Please share with us what would you like to do to resolve this war?
Today I am not a speaker. I am only a listener.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Just share anything you would like to share. We welcome anybody. Just please voice your opinions. Let us know what your thoughts, your feelings are.
Well, thank you, Poonam Gati. And I'm going to right here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say a few words because we already had 8 countries today speak, and we're so grateful you all were here, as this is documented for data and analysis, so we can find out some solutions for your countries. Also, we will be applying for certain grants so that we can take action. We want to find the best value of where we should go for innovation and where we should find the right countries that will accept the services and the help. So that's another reason we are collecting this data and analysis. I really enjoyed every speaker, and I know everyone here needs help and needs the services and the fundamentals behind the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. We know that in the year 2030 is when the United Nations plans to finally show all solutions. But before that even happens, we want to go ahead and we want to show that we can find the solutions now. You guys can find some of these solutions in our Global Peace Sustainable Development Goal book on Amazon, where there's 17 goals, and we have articles that are from all nations coming together, saying their issue and also saying their opinion on the issue solution. So remember, there is a way we can fix this now. All we have to do is communicate, show the awareness, and bring up the facts that there are issues. I know a lot of people had a lot of analysis and data today on research, on facts of how many people are in unemployment. Thank you so much. From the Philippines, also how many people are hungry. Thank you so much from Nigeria. And, you know, these are all even different ages of people are struggling, even from Thailand, India, Georgia. There's so many different people that are looking for the help. So again, agriculture was one of the things that I was also focused on yesterday in SDG 1, because we're trying to end poverty. Now, if you think about it, SDG 1 and SDG 2 go hand in hand. Poverty and hunger go hand in hand, because people need to make enough money, again, as another speaker said, to sustain themselves and to buy food. But we also have to be aware of where this money is going. If this money is invested correctly, then we can have more agricultural farms, and a lot of farming needs to happen so that we can take a handle on the distribution for the food. Now, if all people think like this, and let's say they start off small and have a mini garden in their homes or outside their homes, this can sustain themselves to at least have a few nutritious greens and vegetables. And also they will be able to distribute the extra access foods to their communities and donate this food. So this is very, very, very important that we continue to spread the energy, be positive, and find a solution for sustainable development goals. Tomorrow, we will have SDG 3, and I suggest all of you continuously join. Your certificates will go out today in 1 hour, your awards. And also, if you're interested in us helping you, contact me as a United States citizen. I will figure out how to work with Ashley to put in for that grant so that we can find out how to distribute enough substantial services in your country. And this will be happening for travel in the year 2024 as already been planned, but we want to make sure that we're helping the right people. So thank you so much today, and make sure that you join tomorrow. Thank you, and God bless you all.
God bless you. One gentleman wanted to ask a question, and I don't want to pass that up. May I ask a question? That he wanted to ask a question.
Yes, Amir Ali Mahar.
Yes.
Yes,
please.
ma'am, I want to ask to everyone is question, and you can give it to me the answer. I want to know that how is the modern ways to we zero hunger? How
So
was the modern way to means end the zero hungers?
So the modern way to end zero hunger is to
Yes.
use technology to get the seeds and growing tools that we need, and learning how to farm and getting that off of the internet. You can learn that on Google, YouTube, and other ways to educate yourself if you're not getting free equality of education. And then teaching your youth, like another speaker spoke, in schools and growing all over the place. If you have it in schools and you have it in different organizations, and you form a distribution, because that's what has to happen. You have to distribute that food and also get that food checked and make sure there's no, you're not using pesticides. You have certain laws in Europe, as I spoke about yesterday, where you are legally not allowed to use any chemicals or pesticides. And this is how we should follow Europe's lead, because they are having bigger fruitaceous strawberries and also foods that are healthy, and they're naturally grown like that. So I believe that using the cycle method of understanding for growing and agriculture will help us find a solution quicker than later. Because if we start now and you set your crops now and you start laying the foundation for your agriculture, you can actually have your crops ready between, depending on what crop they are, from 2 months to 6 months. And then you can recycle this information. Now, I know a lot of people pull the root of their vegetables and fruits, but you can just cut the top of the root, the top of the plant, and take the vegetable or the fruit and leave the root, so the root can continuously grow over and over again. Also, you want to make sure that you are going online, because technology, you can buy certain growing hedges of lights. You can get these lights delivered to you from Amazon. And again, I know out of the country you do not have safe locations to get packages. So the local police stations, libraries, and schools will be able to help you in this field. If you partner with certain schools and try to set up a greenhouse or some sort of vegging environment in the schools to teach, come into schools and teach them for courses for growing, this can also help them basically, learn how to follow your lead and grow as a recycled information. And this can set a fundamental of ending hunger. Again, if you see people throwing away food, you want to recycle that food. But guess what? And out of the country, if they're throwing it away, usually the food is no good anymore. So if you want to take an understanding, you just recycle the information of growing. That way you're able to give and distribute fresh food. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank
And
you.
also, if I may add, I know a gentleman in Canada. He literally buys containment shipments and turns them into a greenhouse. I have access to him at all times. What I would love to do, if there is no access to any information from any country, I think they could possibly come in contact with us, and we can put a package together and provide it to them, because there are areas that don't have internet or TV. And I think that if we come together and just put this package together for them to teach them how to grow organic, healthy foods. I already have the gentleman with the containment shipments, the containers. He turns them into greenhouses. If you don't have an area in one of your countries, I will be more than happy to contact him for you. But just let me know the information. Give me all the information and needs that you are requiring. That is very important, because if you give us this information, we can provide it for you. You're not standing alone because you are in another country. We are here for you. At any time, contact us. Say, we need this. How do we get there? We will be more than happy to contribute. That's what we are here for. We are this safe on saving humanity's community.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And this is your kindness to giving to me the information and helping me. This is the world. We are the one, and we are living in one planet. This is our home, but now we are separating and just look like a country. And thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, ma'am Tiana.
Thank you so much. And again, we will need more data, more analysis. So please jump on these calls tomorrow. And for the rest of the 17 goals, each goal has something to do with each other. And once you're able to give that information of what exactly is going on in your country with the facts, with the research, and whatever you find on the internet, whatever you find of knowing, these exact numbers of how many people that need to be fed, how many people are going to be unemployed or have been unemployed. These things do make a difference, because then we know how much to apply for when we apply for the grants, and we know where the grant money needs to go to distribute the food and the services. So thank you so much. Today we're going to end, and stay tuned. Look in your emails for your certificates of awards, and please share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. You were wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for participating. We hope to see you all tomorrow again, and let's continue this communication and network with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.